Here's how I'd make my first $1,000 on Facebook Marketplace with no time, no inventory, no experience, and absolutely no patience for BS. Let's jump in. So if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how to make your first $1,000 or at least a couple dollars off of Facebook Marketplace. Maybe you've even posted a couple items, but all you keep getting is absolutely low interest leads, people saying you have or is this available, or spamming your inbox with absolute lowball numbers and you don't know where to go. Or you're getting a little bit of traction, but you're wondering how to scale. Well, you came to the right place. So just to introduce myself, I'm Aaron. I'm a 31-year-old eco-friendly junk removal business owner. So what does that mean? Basically, we do junk removal and moving, but instead of just throwing the items out, we sort them, we inventory them, and then we sell them and rehome them in a variety of ways. And over the course of the couple of years that I've now done this, I've done probably thousands of hours worth of Facebook Marketplace listing, selling, navigating messages with buyers, and everything in between. So let's start with part number one, which is where do you get your items? Well, if you're in a business like mine, junk removal, the answer is pretty simple. It's basically start paying attention to what it is that you're taking away. Because what I've seen in a lot of the junk removal, like social media space, is that people are constantly throwing away high value items, both large and small. My recommendation is start with smaller items, if you can, both for junk removal owners and people who are just getting started. It's just easier to store, it's less hassle, less overhead, and you can use a variety of things to sell them more quickly that are easy if the items are small, which I'll get into later in the video. So yeah, where as far as sourcing, if you're in the junk removal business, boom. Otherwise, what I'll say is people are posting stuff for free literally all the time. When I started this business, I was literally just driving around during trash day, picking up items that were valuable and flipping them. I was also doing junk removal, but I was just taking things literally off the street and making 20, 30, 40, or even $100. And I would also pick up items on the free section of Facebook Marketplace and the buy nothing pages. And I was also flipping them there for often a significant profit. So that's sourcing. So what do you do once you have the item? Well, when you pull up the Facebook Marketplace listing app, the first thing that you're going to do is two things. You're going to have photos, and then you're going to have a title. So the first thing, and this is the most important thing, when you make a title for Facebook Marketplace, put read listing as the first part of your title. Because what you're going to do, basically, if you have any experience in Facebook Marketplace, you'll know that most people, basically like 90% of people, 95% of people sometimes are wasting your time. There are people who are not looking to buy. They're living into a fantasy. They want to see what kind of deal they could get if they got it. They want to see all sorts of things except how to actually get to you and buy the item. That's just how it goes, plain and simple. And so what I'm going to be walking you through here is basically how to make a bulletproof Facebook Marketplace post so that you have to deal with the absolute bare minimum of BS so that you can get to the sale more quickly. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put in everything that you post, read listing. It's all in caps. And what it does is basically, this is your first line of defense. So whenever somebody asks you a question that you're going to put the answer to in every single listing that you post, then you are going to have something that you can just say, read listing, or see title, or in listing. So that you're basically saving a ton of your energy throughout this entire process. So that's thing number one. The next thing that you can do so that's going to go in your title. You can also put things like serious buyers only. This is just a thing where it helps maybe 20 or 30%. It just filters out people who are just really definitely not going to buy your items. And if you're worried about people like, oh, it might scare people off, yeah, generally speaking, you just scares off people who aren't really interested. That's just how it goes. So when it comes to photos, now, if you're just starting out, I haven't used this myself. I've heard people use like AI backdrops and things like that. I don't know. I'm sure it helps. For me, what I do is Since most of my items are in a warehouse, I take them out on a dolly and I take pictures outside. Realistically, you can take pictures anyway, but they need to be high quality photos, as high quality photos as you can as you can muster, and you want as many photos as you can get. So especially for something like furniture, you want pictures of everything. You want pictures of the top, you want pictures of the drawers, you want pictures of the inside the drawers, and you want pictures of the sides, any scrapes, scuffs, anything. And you want pictures of the measurements too, because 50% of the people who message you are going to ask you what are the dimensions and what does it look like on the inside. And this is the same for literally everything. Measure everything that is not a standard size. I'm talking everything. Measure everything. No, not that. But everything else that's not a standard size. Then, so then once you got your photos, Facebook is going to auto-populate. If you use the AI generated this, that, and the other thing, Facebook's going to auto-populate a description for you. That's fine. That's going to be the meat of your description, but you need some things in there to save your time and energy. Number one thing that you can put in there right at the top is, I will not respond to, quote, is this available? This is just a thing where you, again, are setting yourself back from all the people who just see something, oh, pretty, and press a button. They're going to waste your time. They're not interested, generally speaking. The thing that I do sometimes, if I have the energy, is I press the same button back. Yes, are you interested? I never type a response if somebody sends something prefabricated to me. The next thing that I put in, which saves me a ton of time and energy, is I put in, I do not negotiate prices online. Here's my experience, okay? My experience is that 75 or 80% of the people who end up sending me an offer, a lowball offer online, or even, hey, can you do $10 less? They never show up. Because to them, it's just a game to see what kind of deal they could get if they wanted to buy it. And so basically, I'm looking for somebody who is serious enough to actually show up. And then I usually do give them $10 or $15. For me, especially as somebody, I'm literally getting paid to take these items away. I love giving people a good deal. To me, all of this money is basically free anyways. I'm saving in dump fees. And so I'm basically, this is already a kind of a net profit for me. And so to give people a good deal, and so they're really excited about getting something awesome, I love doing that. But for people who are qualified and who are excited to get the item and not just trying to get the best deal. So these are things that you could put in, right, that are going to protect your time and energy, right? There's the not responding to, is this available, and not negotiating price online. Then, something that I do to sometimes spark a little bit more interest, especially for smaller items, is I put in, we offer free delivery. Now, this is for items that are higher value. Let's say you get something like a PlayStation 2 or a pair of like Yeezys or something like that, high value sneakers. Now, if somebody is so excited that they don't want to see it beforehand, and you know the quality of the item's good, you can offer free delivery. And the way that I've done it is I have people pay me goods and services through Venmo, PayPal, something like that. And then I use Uber Courier to deliver it to them. That's just because I don't have the time. I've got to do a bunch of different things to do. You can also deliver it. It's just an extra incentive, especially for people who are excited about an item, but don't necessarily want to drive to you to do it. The next thing that I make sure I always have in when I'm listing an item on Facebook Marketplace is I always have to put in the dimensions of the item. As I mentioned before, I put it in the description of the listing, and then I also put my location. I say located in. Now, if you're a little bit more cautious, you can just say your neighborhood. But for us, like, since it's a warehouse and I have somebody on staff there, I put in our address, which is 2066 West Hunting Park Avenue. If you want to buy used goods, by the way, that's where we are, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and we're usually there on the weekends too. So, and so that's another thing is people will just say, where are you located? And the more information that you have on there, you can just say in listing. It's in the listing. Read the listing instead of having to type anything out. So, just as a side note, if you're a buyer on Facebook Marketplace and you actually want an item, do not press the "Is this available" button. The things that I do if I'm looking to purchase something, and I buy a lot of things on Marketplace too, because I just oftentimes I'll need something for my business. I don't usually try to buy things to flip anymore. I just get so much inventory as it is in our business that I just don't need more stuff. Um, but when I am reaching out on Marketplace, what I do is I do the following. I say, hey, I'm really interested in fill in the blank. I've just bought a truck recently, another work truck. Hey, I'm really interested in this truck. I am free at this time, at this day, this time of day, and I'm happy to meet you wherever it is. So if it says in Plymouth meeting, say, hey, hey, I'm super interested in this truck. I'm free Wednesday between 2 and 6 and from 8:30 p.m. on. That's an example. Is I put more reasonable times. Um, and I'm happy to meet you in Plymouth Meeting, which is another neighborhood outside of Philadelphia. Um, does this time frame work for you? If not, just to suggest a couple times and I can make one of those work. For as a seller, getting something like that, to me, I just see somebody who's really interested, serious, and it makes it easy for me to just say, yeah, I'm available then or no. So just as a side note, what I can say is this is something that's going to eliminate probably 75 or 80% of the headaches that you get when you're starting out on Facebook Marketplace, or even if you're somebody who's posting now who's just tired of the volume of nonsense. Um, I'm grateful for Facebook Marketplace. Eventually, I actually would love to develop something better, but for the time being, that's what we have and that's what I use. Um, if you're interested in an alternative to sourcing used items, Unfunk Your Stuff, which is my business, is actually going to be opening its first thrift store and resource recycling center sometime in the next month. So this is going to be a place where you can pick up free boxes. You can buy a membership and get things like screws, basic old tools. You can get things like clothes. You can get things like, and if you buy a membership, you can actually get them quote unquote for free. Um, and so it's going to be kind of an alternate model for getting resources that for us are readily available in the junk removal business in ways that we want to distribute it back to the community. And so, yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. And if you have questions, comments, concerns about that, please let me know. And also drop some tips in the comments. If you have ways that you streamline your Facebook Marketplace selling experience, please let me know. For one thing, I'd love some more help. I still get a lot of baloney when I'm posting, and I would love some help for sure. So yeah, just let me know about that. And thanks for watching. And if you find content like this really useful, feel free to like and subscribe and let me know. Say like, hey, this was useful, or like, yeah, I don't agree with you on this. And let's go from there. So anyways, thanks for watching and catch you on the next video.